Okay, so here we go with part two. We're going to really break down the different parts to the workstation, starting out with the lighting and the screen, and then getting to some other parts of the workstation. Computer screens are a huge part of issues with people's neck and their head with headaches. All different versions, different kinds of screens out there. A lot of vision problems are related to the screen. Eye strain, headaches, blurry vision, dry eyes, very common, people using a computer screen all day, and then neck and shoulder pain. Causes include the poor lighting, the glare, incorrect viewing distance, poor seating posture, vision problems, uncorrected vision problems. Classically, somebody needs the reading glasses and then, they're kind of leaning forward kind of thing. Working too long without vision breaks. Workstation assessment, computer screen. The screen just causes that constant focus, easily strains the eyes. It causes a lot of headaches. If you have a lot of headaches, good bet it's from your computer screen, staring at that for long periods, trying to do homework assignments that terrible professors give you. If your head is not aligned with the screen, can create misalignment of eye convergence, neck strain. Common with fixed laptops. Laptops are bad news for the neck and the head. Either way, it kind of gets you. So look at this laptop here. He's bending, he's flexing his neck, looking way down. See the laptop, puts on a bunch of books, then he's got to put his wrists and shoulders in an awkward position. So you need that detachable keyboard, a big fundamental thing. The screen, how far away should the screen be? About arm's length. Should be at least arm's length away. 16 to 28 inches in general. Make sure it's in direct line with your eyes. You're not cranking your neck forward like he has to look at that screen. Here's a simple, easy rule to teach people and to remember. 20-20 rule. For every 20 minutes of screen work, you must move your whole body for at least 20 seconds and stare at something 20 feet away. Reduce that strain will help with all that. Lighting is a huge issue with these screens, the glare and all that. This is a cool little graphic. Talks about having the lighting at a 90-degree angle to the primary source. So here's the lighting coming in from this big window. It's not directly onto the screen or right in front of the screen. It's at that 90-degree angle. This is what they mean by that. Right in the middle, the two overhead lights. This is kind of cool, ideal as well. The ambient light, talking ideally 40 to 50 foot candles or light level versus 80 to 100. It's kind of how much brightness in the lights up here. Parabolic covers can kind of reduce that glare, get that flicker, can cause all kinds of headache problems. Don't let lighting drive the work posture. Use task lighting for desk work. Use diffuse indirect lighting or up close lighting to create softer, uniform visual field. There's all kinds of screens you can put on for blue light and increasing contrast. Mess around with that and kind of work with that. A lot of those are really cheap things to do. They can make a big difference for somebody. Here's different kinds of lighting sources. If you look at these, some are ideal, some better than others. So you look at this big source of light coming in every day directly onto our screen. So it's going to cause glare here. And here it's kind of backlit. This is not ideal either. Ideally, this workstation should be kind of flipped around so they're kind of facing each other this way, so it's more at that 90-degree angle that we talked about. They have good task lighting. Here's a classic example of the laptop. She's doing this all day long. She's looking down, awful, neck flexion. And look at her wrists. She's high risk for tunnel of Guyon issues, ulnar nerve that we just talked about in a lecture, and carpal tunnel issues, all that strain and stress, that sharp edge on her wrists all day long. This is better down here. They're at that 90-degree angle, coming this way. And they've got the nice detachable keyboards. She's leaning forward. This is what happens. This is your biggest culprit when you're doing workstations assessment. How can you get somebody to stop leaning forward? The reclining chair is an option, something to think about. Document holders, that seem like a simple thing, but they can be a huge issue. Can't tell you how many times I saw people have neck pain because of the document holders. Why? Because they're on the side, usually. and they turning their head to the right all day, or turning their head to the left all day, causing all this neck strain. So again, think of moderation. There really is no golden ticket with the document holder. So you're going back and forth. This makes it a little bit closer, and it's kind of a hands-free kind of thing, which is kind of good, more in direct lighting, but you are tilting your head a little bit to the left to do this. So what do? You vary it. And for a couple hours you're on the left and on the right, and then go to this, where you're kind of looking down for a while. But again, you don't want to be doing any of these all day long. Just kind of break it up, vary it. Keyboard, I think we know about that, keeping your wrists flat and neutral. Elbows 90 degrees. Elbow, keyboard generally at elbow height. Whoops. Typing lightly, I don't know, taking breaks. These are OSHA guidelines. Fingernail length. Little tips. Alternative keyboards, the evidence on that is kind of mixed. The split keyboard, this is what I mean by a split keyboard. It kind of brings you out more, but if you kind of visualize yourself with a split keyboard, you're kind of internally rotating more. This gets me more internal rotation, which is not a good thing. This is less so, maybe a good thing. I know some secretaries who just love these, cannot work without them. They're that attached to them. Here's the gel pad that's very popular as well. Some people love, some people hate. A lot of this stuff you just have to try it, see what the person thinks of it. And again, it's like it's not one size fits all. Everybody has different kind of comfort zones of this stuff. The mouse is a huge deal with a lot of people, causing all kinds of shoulder, elbow, and hand repetitive strain kind of issues. Want to avoid that internal rotation, too much excessive abduction, keeping them in neutral. Relax hand between clicks. I don't know. Moving mouse to the other side. That seems like such a simple thing, but it can be huge. Can't tell you how many people I've seen with kind of all kinds of hand pain. Move the mouse to the other side. They hate it at first. It's very awkward, but eventually they get used to it. The hand pain goes away in their right hand. You also have foot mice to give your hands a break. But again, the bottom line with this stuff, if you're doing this all day long, you could get a repetitive strain injury in your foot. If you just move it to the left and just leave it there on the left forever, you could get a repetitive strain injury on your left hand versus your right hand. So going back and forth, different types of mice, different grips like this one, maybe the ticket, and you have to kind of see what works for the particular person in a particular circumstance. Telephones, headrests, it's kind of more, I don't know if people still use landlines and phones so much as they used to. The awkward straining with that. Headsets are the alternative. The workstation surface. This is kind of the best. See, she's in neutral. She's not looking, bending. This is awful, flexing forward. It's a little bit better. This is ideal. Don't like the leaning kind of thing. We know all that's bad, getting out of those neutral postures, going out of the power zone. Texting, cell phones, and ergonomics. Text neck syndrome. Too much texting could lead to this. Could also lead to a car crash if you're doing that. So text neck syndrome may include the following symptoms: headaches, back pain, nerve damage. Again, we know about all this tightness, all the plexus nerves coming out through there. Disc herniation, compression, thoracic outlet syndrome, early arthritis. All these awful things from excessive texting, so I got to be careful about that. Texting and ergonomics. Excessive texting, self-induced, could also lead to decreased lung capacity. Look at this. This is kind of collapsing her lungs over the long term, not a good thing. Obviously, the neck pain, the thumb issues, Decker veins, CMC arthritis. And you're getting all these DMPs because you're just texting so much you can't relax those muscles. This is a great little graphic. This is kind of the ideal dream workstation setup. The detachable keyboard. She's looking straight across, not down or up to the side. Look at that. Wrists, elbows, looks great. Her hips, knees, all looks good. Things get more and more involved because there's just so much money around this in terms of lost money. Looking for solutions, looking for research ideas. Some OTs on the West Coast are looking into artificial intelligence around workstations. It gives you the just right temperature, the just right images, senses, automatically adjusts. You start to lean forward, it's going to push you back. Kind of working in a whole different kind of world kind of thing. There's a lot of different possibilities with this. Okay.